Hi guys, Kim Barker here. Today I am so excited to tell you about this book from my colleague and friend, John Quinlan. It's called Alignment Strong, a strategic and human-centric handbook for competitive leadership. I had the honor of writing the foreword of this book for John, which I would like to read to you. What an honor to write a foreword to Alignment Strong, a book that conveys creativity and rigor to important topics such as culture, leadership, strategy, mission efficacy, and individual and organizational performance. As a method, Alignment Strong is a change framework that brings leadership and the science of organization development together and applies a combination and practicality. Punctuated with personal narratives, business concepts, thought-provoking questions, and assessments, this book brings to you, as a leader or leadership candidate, a powerful vantage point on how to view yourself and an organization. I have never quite read a business text like this before. It integrates the personal and the rational with an occasional existential nudge to inquiry. I became engaged in reviewing the author's manuscript from a colleague and thought leader, Bruce L. Gibb, who has a PhD in organizational psychology from the University of Michigan. Bruce has known John Quinlan professionally and as a friend for 40 years, and he told me that John had returned from Papua New Guinea a few years earlier after building a significant coffee company in a remote rainforest community, and after an assassination attempt on he and his wife. I was interested indeed. I immediately read and thoroughly enjoyed John's book, Taubata, The Quest and Memoir of a Vulnerable Man. Also, I viewed the TEDx talk on his vulnerability lessons as a rainforest CEO. I was excited to see what gems his next book would provide. Alignment Strong propels the organization to a self-sustaining value system, human-centric, technically equipped, and postured to compete in today's global community. The change equation is fully explored, as is the role change agents leaders play in our world today. The book includes terms that are important to know in today's innovation-rich world, with many applications, a case study, reflective analysis sections, and references for further study. From the list of introspective questions for the organization leader to the employee who wants to empower their boss, Alignment Strong examines how empowerment and a spirit of inclusion can be incorporated throughout an organization. John Quinlan's book applies crucially to the business world as well as to nonprofit organizations and to the classroom. This book could supplement our org development and change curriculum as a textbook at my university. As a business advisor and coach, John reminded me of Jim Collins's bombastic deduction in the first chapter of his book, Good to Great, emphasizing that a majority of companies are good and remain just that, not great. Yet today, nearly 20 years later, the vast amount of organizations are still sleepwalking. They have adopted to being good, an affliction of satisficing. It is just good enough. If it isn't broken, leave it alone, as opposed to achieving their potential and being great. By following the Alignment Strong Guide, you can achieve the results of a healthy organization that is both competitively postured and regenerative to sustain itself. John Quinlan individualizes this conversation. He reminds me that the leader becomes the author, the brewmeister, and creates the change recipe for his or her enterprise's greatness. Within that change recipe, which will be difficult to replicate by one's rivals, the disease of mediocrity is preventable as well as curable. It is a conscious, curious, and deliberate choice. Is alignment strong needed everywhere around the world? Is the need the same in developing countries as developed countries? Is the same America as in Africa? The same in Australia or Latin America as in China, Japan, or Russia? It is so compelling to report from our research that the answer is yes. While organizations around the world and throughout the United States may differ culturally, socially, and politically, and life conditions, for example, poverty, climate, healthcare, infrastructure, education, water, accessibility, income per capita, vary as well, the principles and understandings of Alignment Strong apply throughout the world now more than ever. Human nature demands it. Human beings respond to openness, affirmation, trust, and transparency. We need leaders whose goals include continuous wisdom, who are a bit philosophical and certainly transparent, who are not afraid to consistently engage employees and create more leaders at all levels of the organization. I highly recommend that you quietly and reflectively read this book immediately. This is why this book is my end of 20 and beginning of 2021 chosen book to read. You can buy this book everywhere where leadership books are sold. I strongly encourage you to buy one for yourself and another one for a friend. Your friend will be very grateful, and you will be very grateful that you did. Thanks.